And so, what percentage of childcare workers are immigrants, and what have you seen in terms of how they're navigating the presence of ICE in this crackdown?
About 1 in 5 childcare workers are immigrants. These are largely
Wow.
Latinas. It's a really large proportion
Yeah.
for a singular industry. And in some big cities like DC, that proportion's even higher. It's like
Hmm.
40%, closer to 40% of those workers are immigrants. Now, a smaller share of them are undocumented immigrants. I think it's something like 8%, something around there. But nevertheless, these crackdowns on immigration have a really, and I hate to use this term, we use it all the time, but sort of a chilling effect more broadly
Hmm.
on the population. And we saw that for sure in DC. I was talking to workers there who were not coming into work. They were afraid that they were going to get swept up in a
Wow.
raid. They were going to get picked up at the metro. Imagine looking over your shoulder all the time, not sure who you can trust, not sure if you might not see your own children, right? Because a lot of these workers are parents themselves.
Yeah.
And they're having to make really difficult decisions and have difficult conversations with their families around, if I don't come back from work, it doesn't
Mm.
mean that I left you. It means that, they caught up to me in some way. And we heard from workers in DC who were making, writing these documents about what they wanted to happen to their children or their family if they were detained, having to make plans around who is going to care for my kids if I'm not here? Do I send them, do they go back to a sort of our home country? Do they meet me there? I mean, it really complicated, really sad stories. And
Mm.
and it was being felt by the industry, by the childcare industry in DC and in other
Mm.
cities as well, because workers were not coming into work. And so that all trickles down, right, to the
Mhm.
families in those classrooms and those kids and those parents who don't have childcare now. And we know what
Yeah.
happens when families don't have childcare, don't have access to childcare. Immigrants are a really foundational part of the childcare workforce, and it's not something that's often talked about. We talk about it a lot in the sense of like the agriculture industry or food services industry, but certainly childcare as well. And it's also one where the sort of domino effect of this impact on this crackdown is it affects not just that community, but all of the communities that rely on childcare and on